a lot of people, including myself, really responded to the character in the book that Andy wrote. And well, I think the humor and the way that I think us kind of mere mortals are always captivated by the way people can do this and seem to have some preternatural calm when they're in these incredibly high-stress situations, and that was what was really attractive about the character, how he kept his sense of humor and this incredible logical kind of practical solve one problem at a time type of thinking, and it's what these real guys can actually do. It's amazing. I'm sitting next to one of them, so.
Just to get caught up again, but it's amazing. You guys did a great job. Congratulations. I mean, for what I've seen, it's pretty spectacular. And bringing the book to life, what's I think special about the book for myself, and it's probably true for a lot of astronauts, is the relevant topics in there, the things that are very real for us. We all have visions of exploring space and eventually getting to Mars and going beyond. And so for me, what's great about the book and the movie that we've seen is that it really brings those things to life, and they're very relevant for us now. So I want to thank you guys for making us look good. I mean, I don't know, we're not as smooth and cool as what we see on the screen and even in the book, but at least you give us a chance to look good in public, so thanks for that.
And Andy, for you, you talked a little bit about this before, but you know, I'm sort of curious what this journey has been. You know, it has been rather quick, even just since the original ebook was published. That now that this has already happened, so what has the journey been like for you?
Oh, it's been this just ridiculous, like, Cinderella story. I mean, like, you fantasize about these kinds of things when you're writing, but you never really think they'll come true. It's kind of like when you're a little kid playing baseball. You're like, someday I'm going to be bottom of the ninth in the World Series. But right. It's like, this actually happened. I mean,
and for Dr. Green and for Drew, I'm kind of curious, you know, how, you know, sci-fi films like this, you know, kind of, I don't know, reflect your work at NASA and also, you know, kind of bring it to life in a way, and what do you think what do you think audiences can kind of take from that as well?
Well, you know, science fiction is extremely important in our culture. It's ingrained in what we do, but it really projects a vision of the future, something that we aspire to. And what I really enjoyed about the book and the movie is how close to reality it can be. It's just around the corner for us.
This is for Ridley Scott. Did you make any decision to, on Mars, shoot it like it's Earth gravity? Did you talk about trying to portray more Mars gravity, and if that was too difficult?
Are you an expert?
How much do you know?
I'm an astrophysicist.
Earth's gravity, Mars is 40%, right, of Earth. So by the time you put on a fairly chunky suit, even the surface suit, not just the big white suit that appears in the end, is fairly heavy. So we worked out the mathematics roughly. It's kind of more or less just under norm movement. So that's where we made a decision.
How eager and excited are you to inspire a future generation of scientists with this movie?
Well, it's funny, you know, Drew Goddard, who adapted the screenplay, when I sat and talked with him, it was the first thing he said. He said, I want this to be a love letter to science. And I thought, and we had a long conversation about that and how that's a really wonderful thing to put out into the world right now. And yeah, I hope, you know, I don't have, you know, any lofty expectations, but I do hope that some kids see it and get and geek out on the science and enjoy it, and maybe it's one thing in many other things in their life that might push them in that direction.
You know, I really think that indeed will happen. You know, we're talking about the Mars generation. You know, Ridley and I and Drew perhaps were around when we landed on the moon, and we were the lunar generation. That was pretty spectacular. But when we landed Curiosity on Mars, we had the world's attention. And that's the Mars generation. That's the inspiration that will propel our economy forward by bringing in the scientists and the engineers. And the movie and the book is a fabulous opportunity for really us to celebrate that.
With the what?
Science and Entertainment Exchange.
What's that?
It's an organization that was founded by the National Science Foundation to bring experts together with filmmakers.
Well, that probably would have been handy.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we connected with.
Ridley
we
just
called
called
him
NASA
directly.
headquarters.
We didn't go through an agent. He just called him up, and they said, "What?"
Everybody takes Ridley's call.
And if you're curious about my research process, it was Google. I didn't know anyone in aerospace when I wrote it.
Yeah, in fact, I was coming back from the cafeteria when our public affairs official came by running around looking for me, and he comes up to me and he says, can you take a call with Ridley Scott at 2 o'clock this afternoon? And I said, the Ridley Scott? And he said, yeah. I said, sure. So I just cleared my calendar. I mean, it's that easy.
Tell that to the studios. Don't take my call.